Hello and welcome, fellow film buffs. I am Hunter Van Leerup, and I'm joined by my baby boy in a pink onesie, Zack Troll.
I hate you. I hate you.
We are the Box Office Lizards. Each and every week, we deep dive into the movie sphere to watch and review any and all films to ever grace the silver screen. We also, I've noticed, we're just a very heavy information-based podcast, which is not a lot. You don't see a lot of those these days. Most podcasts are two people ranting. We're giving people some hard facts. I like that about us.
That's definitely not just copy and paste it off of IMDb.
But not everybody wants to look at it, bro.
Well, yeah, but...
And then they're not all from Wikipedia and IMDb. Some of them are from my brain, depending on the movie, but most of them are just lifted and slightly edited.
What are we talking about today, Hunter?
So this week we're talking about A Christmas Story from 1983. I've seen this movie 3 times total in my life.
I've seen this movie more times than I've seen myself in a mirror.
Dude, there's a note later on that talks about how often this thing gets fucking played, and it's like, ugh, it's one of the most overplayed Christmas movies of all time, and it's just okay. It's just okay.
Okay, it is, but also, like, see, the reason why a lot of people both, like, love and hate this movie is because of TBS.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only reason why this movie has the big enough cult following that it does. Is because of the 24 hours
That's what I was gonna talk
that
about,
TBS does.
And no, my lady friend Courtney, she doesn't hate this movie. She's just, her dad plays it every Christmas, like all day, every day. And she's just sick and tired of watching it. And I felt the same way watching it this year. I was like, this is just okay. Like, it's a good movie, the dialogue's great, the performances are good, but everything else is just like, it's fast, it's more fast-paced than we thought, but that's not...
Yes.
But the movie's not fast-paced, the runtime is fast-paced.
It's just that with this movie, for me, like, when it comes down to Christmas, we watch it, like, 3 times on TBS, then we turn it off, and then we watch, like, Christmas Vacation, A Santa Claus...
Yeah.
The Polar Express.
Fred Claus. You gotta add Fred Claus to your list. It's
I've
Vince
seen
Vaughn.
Fred Claus. Fred Claus is like, it's not that good.
Fred Claus is poopy. It's only funny because Vince Vaughn is a giant man-child.
Hey, Elf. I'm surprised. A lot of Christmas movies I realized didn't make the list this year for us.
Hey, Zach, fun fact. I've never seen Elf once.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I've never seen Elf one time. I've never seen it. I've seen bits and pieces because who hasn't seen it? Like, but I've never seen it in its entirety.
Okay. You know what? The one for Christmas Eve, we're canceling that one. We're watching Elf.
Which one do you put on Christmas Eve? Oh, that's totally fine. I've seen that movie twice.
Elf.
I think I've seen every single Christmas movie twice, except for Christmas Vacation, I think I've seen once, and Elf I've never seen at all.
That's, oh my gosh, like,
And I'm a big Will Ferrell fan. I just joined late in the game.
I recommend you watch the movie, then go to, like, Netflix and watch the Christmas movies that made us.
Oh, I plan on doing
because they have that episode about Elf.
Yeah, it came out recently.
So good.
Yeah, I'll wait to watch Elf, not live reactions, but like, so I can give you a proper note section. Because a lot of the note section, like, I've seen this movie. Christmas Vacation, I'll probably give you my live reactions. And when we get to our Christmas movie on the 25th, I watch this movie all the time. I'm going to give it my live.
Hello? What
Baby
just happened?
Yoda fell off my bookshelf and landed on my microphone. Baby Yoda, why? Get back on your shelf, in. Baby boy.
That stayed in.
He's fucking straight pimping it with hats now.
No, so
it says Queen on it.
When we get to next week, I will give I need you to go onto the YouTube page and decipher what are your picks and what are everything. Because remember, we have those dedicated playlists. I keep forgetting about the
dedicated playlists. I see them pop up on the YouTube feed, and I'm like, nice, episode's up, good. But I really gotta like iron.
But no, like when we get to next week, since next week is Christmas Vacation, guys. I will give an explanation of why I personally picked that.
Yeah, that is your pick. Elf will be your pick as well, and then I'll throw the last one in there.
So is A Christmas Story too.
And Shark Boy and Lava Girl too.
Yep. But yeah, I need you to just go onto the YouTube page and just mess around with the picks.
Or I'll just let you know because I don't. No, I should have access to it. Anyway, let's get to that overview before we keep rambling on about nothing.
I'll do it for us.
You think?
I think. Yeah, I should. A Christmas Story is a 1983 American Christmas comedy film. Excuse me, I got a lot of burps coming up. Film directed by Bob Clark and based on Gene Shepard's semi-fictional anecdotes in a 1966 book In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash. With some elements from his 1970 book Wanda Hickey's Night of Golden Memories and Other Disasters. It stars
Melinda Dillon, Darren McGavin, and Peter Billingsley.
And is a second class. And is a seasonal class. Seasonal
it's
classic.
A second-class film in North America. Fuck
America.
these people.
Hey, fun fact: Peter Billingsley, who plays Ralphie, is one of the elves.
That's cool.
An elf.
That's nice.
Once you see his face, I know what he looks like. You'll be able to tell.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a couple years ago, but I'll remember. Speaking of Peter Billingsley, though, let's go through the cast real quick. So, Peter Billingsley is Ralphie. We have John Shepard as adult Ralphie, a.k.a. the narrator. We have Ian Petrella as Randy, Melinda Dillon as Miss Parker, Darren Gavin as the old man / Mr. Parker, Scott Schwartz as Flick, R.D. Robb as Schwartz, which is, they should just switch those actors, and Zack Ward as Scut Farkas.
So, actually, fun fact, at one point, Zack Ward followed me on Twitter. At one point, he randomly followed me on Twitter. Let me double check that, actually. Like, if he still does, there'll be a screenshot right here. If not...
Tag him in this episode when we post it up on the Twitters.
No, he no longer follows me.
You probably made a Christmas Story post and he followed you, and then he was going through his purging. He was purging his follower list, and he was like, "Fuck this kid."
Oh no, it wasn't even that. It was randomly. I was like, this was like back when I was still like living in Belfort. He randomly followed me.
Budget for this film was $3.3 million, and box office was $20.6 million. So it made bank.
I think yeah, this is like the biggest box office that we've had for the
one of the biggest box office gains, especially from the 80s.
I think outside of Clerks, this was.
Oh yeah, with a small budget, this was a big gain. Yeah.
Well, so this film, I will just give my own brief thoughts on it. Even though we kind of ran through it in our intro. This film is. It's a timeless classic.
It's pretty.
You cannot deny that.
Like, it's pretty outdated, brother.
Okay, yeah. Okay. The one scene is outdated.
There's a lot of scenes.
The one scene at the end is very outdated.
Bowling. There's a lot of scenes that are outdated, Chief. But I know what you mean by timeless classic.
Okay, I enjoy this film. I was that one person on Christmas who had this constantly running on TBS.
Yeah, I don't know why.
The channel never changed. It was always this.
I've never been big into this. The Christmas movies I watched are like Nightmare Before Christmas. I watched some animated ones. I watched the Santa Claus, because who doesn't watch the Santa Claus, you know? Like, yeah, of course. You know, I don't know. I'm not really a huge Christmas movie guy. I'm more of just like, if I want to watch a movie, I'll watch it. Doesn't matter what time of the year it is. And I watched a lot of the claymation movies like Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph, etc. Those are always fun. Charlie Brown Christmas.
All right. Do you want to start us off with the notes?
The screenplay for A Christmas Story is based on the material from author Gene Shepard's collection of short stories, In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash. 3 of the semi-autobiographical stories on which the film is based off of were originally published in Playboy magazine between 1964 and 1966.
That's about right.
Yeah, it is.
That sounds
Shepard
right.
later read Duel in the Snow, or Red Ryder Nails the Cleveland Street Kid, and told the otherwise unpublished story of Flick's tongue on his WOR radio talk show, as one can be heard in the DVD extras of the movie. Bob Clark states on the DVD commentary that he became interested in Shepard's work when he heard Flick's tongue on the radio in 1968. Additional source material for the film, according to Clark, came from unpublished anecdotes that Shepard told live audiences on the college circuit. So, that's cool.
So, I'm actually kind of obsessed. So, I own this digitally, and there's no DVD.
Well, you probably didn't get the. I guess it's DVD commentary, but there's been a bunch of releases for this movie. I think there's been like 7 or 8. So
I know. I got the most recent release. I picked this up last year.
So you probably got like one of the anniversary ones that doesn't have a commentary on it.
No, it's not even that. It's just a plain one. I'm kind of upset. Like I would have loved to hear the commentary behind this guy, because I know. I'm not sure if it's in our notes. You'll probably say it if I start bringing it up about the dogs when they attack the turkey. Apparently, that was supposed to go differently from what I understood.
That's cool.
If I find out, I need to remember it correctly, but when we get further down to the plot and notes, but so actually I'll say now, fuck it. So with the dog scene, apparently they weren't supposed to destroy the kitchen. They legit destroyed that set.
It looks fucked up in the movie.
Yeah. If I find out the proper thing, I'll link either the article or the YouTube video in the description, because it's a good listen. I'll just do the short 2 paragraphs because I'm still having the coughing fit. According to Peter Billingsley, not many major studios were interested in a story about a little boy in the 1940s who wanted a BB gun for Christmas. Billingsley said the studio agreed to make this film if Bob Clark agreed to make a horror
I looked trying to find the Bob Clark horror film that came out after Christmas Story, and there's none.
So I guess he just said fuck
I think that
left.
he promised the studio. Well, he didn't promise studio, but he said that he would make one for the studio, and then stuff just ended up falling apart, and then the contract expired or something. Because I looked, I didn't see it. He had a bunch of Christmas movies, not Christmas movies. He had a bunch of horror movies that came out before 1983, but they came out in the 70s, like 74. I think he did Black Christmas, Bob Clark. The original Black Christmas.
Maybe
that came out in 1974. This movie is
but this movie could have been in post-production.
The books have been out since the 60s, so maybe. But Peter Billingsley wouldn't have been born by then.
True. Okay, well,
the baby.
According to the director Bob Clark, Jack Nicholson was given the script and was very much interested in the role of Mr. Parker, or the old man. However, Clark didn't learn of this until later, and the studio didn't want to pay Nicholson the Nicholson fee. Anyway, which would have doubled the budget. Regardless, Clark said that Darren McGavin was still the better choice and was born to play the role.
A lot of Darren McGavin's yelling when he was in the basement was unscripted.
Oh, I heard about that. Cool. Fun little continuity error that I noticed in the first scene when he goes down and fixes the furnace. The mom, I think she's opening up the vent,
I noticed this too.
Or closing it. She moved the top one and kept the bottom one to the. Okay, she moved the top one to the left, the bottom one to the right. But when they do, I think an over the shoulder of Randy or Ralphie, the bottom one is moved to the left, and top one is moved to the left. Is moved to the right.
I saw that too, and I was like, that's weird. It's a weird little goof.
But now just imagine if Jack Nicholson was.
That would have been an interesting turn of events. I don't know, I think in the interim of this, he did one of the Batman movies. No, that was '89. Never mind. It would have been interesting to see Nicholson as the old man, but I think it would have been he's too recognizable, if that makes any sense. I watched this movie and I recognized literally no actors from this.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of also makes it more of a heartwarming film in a sense, kind of, or at least
you're not looking at this and going, "Oh, that's Robert Downey Jr." Oh, that's Chris Evans, with a lot of the Marvel movies nowadays. You know, it's just like, oh, this is just like a kid and his family, and they're doing a Christmas movie. That's cool.
But also, I like a lot of things that I like in this movie. So the actress who plays the mom, she breaks
she
character
ends up
a
laughing
lot.
a lot. Yeah.
And I love that.
And they leave some of that stuff in because it works with what the scene is. Because essentially, this movie is a comedy.
Because like I think her laughing at the old man as he fixed the leg lamp, I think that was just her actually laughing. And then at the Chinese restaurant, everyone breaks character.
Oh yeah, because
everyone.
You have the fa ra 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 ra, and then you have the whole duck thing, and then the guy just chops the duck's head off, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" You can see the kids are like freaking out.
Yeah, because like Yeah, because the old man, Darren McGavin, he breaks hair because like he turns away and covers his face when they chop the head off the duck, and he just starts cracking up. I love that.
It's fresh. It's nice.
Because I prefer having genuine reactions rather than a retake on a scene.
Yeah, comedy comes in waves. So.
So
director Bob Clark reportedly sent scouts to 20 cities before selecting Cleveland for exterior filming. Cleveland was chosen because of Higbie's department store in downtown Cleveland, since Higbie's was exclusive to Northwest Ohio. The department store referred to in Shepard's book and the film is most likely Goldblatt's, located in downtown Hammond. But until they connected with Higbie's, location scouts had been unsuccessful in finding a department store that was willing to be a part of the film. Higbie's vice president Bruce Campbell, not the same one, agreed to take part in the project on the condition he'd be allowed to edit the script for cursing, which is why they say fudge, and why a lot of the ranting from the old man is like just like yelling in the background.
I still think that makes the movie so charming.
Yeah, it's great.
Even with like the Rocka Frucka.
And then when Ralphie's beating up Scott
and the fudge.
All that. Apparently that was all scripted, by the way. I think I have it in my notes. Peter Billingsley said that the entire rant of him fighting Scott was an entire script. Like, it wasn't like just nonsense say words. It was all legit words that were written down on a page.
So like my favorite, like kind of like my three favorite scenes with curses all involve the kids.
Fudge.
Well, not even that. Like the first one where we're introduced to Schwartz. He goes smartass. And
Start being a
smartass.
Talking to Fletch or Flick.
And then he got just before he touches the when Flick touches his tongue to the pole, and then the Dakota ring.
Oh yeah, the Dakota ring thing was fucking funny.
Yes. Like, that is my favorite, like, scene of there, when he goes, like, crummy commercial? Son of a bitch.
That's always good stuff. You know, there are really good scenes in this movie, but it just didn't keep my attention and wasn't so... You'll see my review. It's not a bad score. It's just not, like, a high score. So...
Yeah. It's not...
Oh, yeah, no, yours is very high nostalgia bait as well. So, the Red Ryder BB gun was never manufactured in the exact configuration mentioned in the film. The Daisy Buck Jones model did have a compass and a sundial in the stock, but these features were not included in the Red Ryder model. The compass and sundial were placed on Ralphie's BB gun, but on the opposite side of the stock due to Peter Billingsley's being left-handed, which I just think is a little cool. Yeah, you got it.
The Chinese restaurant is named Bo Ling. There's a neon sign across the top of the storefront that reads bowling, except the W is not.
I thought that was really funny because the dad talks about, like, what if I want a bowling alley, and then he gets a bowling ball for Christmas. Like, it's just, and then to wrap it all off, the fa ra 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 Christmas is, you know, it's called bowling without the W, and then it's just it's clever.
So I've seen the Fox, like, A Christmas Story live.
Oh yeah, that's got Maya Rudolph in it.
Yeah, god awful, might I add.
Did you see any of the sequels yet?
And I refuse.
No, there's 2 or 3 sequels. I'll get to them when we get down to the later in the notes. There's like 2 or 3 sequels.
I refuse to fucking see them. So.
Stop dying.
I'm trying. So. In the musical, they actually do a callback to the Chinese restaurant scene, but instead of doing the fa ra ra, they do fa la la, and Mr. Chen from Hangover, I forget the actor's name.
Ken Jeong.
Yeah, Ken Jeong. He goes, and they go along with it, and the father goes, "Oh, that's nice." He goes, and then he turns to the father and goes, "What? Were you expecting something else?"
That's really good.
or even in the cutaway gag in Family Guy, and they have them do the fa ra ra, and Peter Griffin goes, "Yeah, guys, your favorite Christmas movie is racist."
Yeah, it is a little racist, just a little bit.
Well, 1980s.
Well, who wasn't racist in the 1980s? Am I right? I mean, the 1980s. Am I right?
Yeah.
Well, you have a coughing fit. I'll read the next line. So, director Bob Clark
please.
stated in the film's DVD commentary that both he and the author Shepard wished for the film to be seen as amorphously late 30s, early 40s. A specific year is never mentioned in the film. Numerous sources, though, included the New York Times and CBS News that have dated back to early 1940, give or take. Shepard was actually in Miss Shield's second grade class at Warren G. Harding Elementary School during the Christmas season of 1928. So they can just math it up to figure out what time it was. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Initially overlooked as a sleeper film, A Christmas Story was released a week before Thanksgiving in 1983 to moderate success, earning about $2 million in its first weekend. Robert Ebert, who gave the film 4 stars out of 4, added the film to his great movies list, suggested the film only had modest success because holiday-themed films were not popular at the time. Vincent Canby's mostly negative New York Times review complained that the movie's big comic pieces tend to only be exceedingly busy. Though Mr. Billingsley, Mr. Gavin, Miss Dillon, and the actress who plays Ralphie's school teacher, Teddy Moore, are still very able. They are very less funny actors than in television situational comedies. So,
Yeah.
and I get what they're meaning. The vignettes are a little meh.
Oh yeah, that's like the only thing I hate. I hated the
Some of the vignettes are good.
Also,
in the plot section, I have the vignettes listed. Some of the vignettes are actually good, but others are just like, come on, you're yanking my chain here.
Also, might I add too, since it's going to be addressing the plot. Ralphie's grade of a C+ is unfair. He put that shit in a fucking book.
He's the only one who didn't hand it in on crumpled up pieces of paper. They gave him a C+.
He handed that shit
And
in
then
a
it said,
book.
"You'll shoot your eye out, kid."
He should have got at least like a B-. He handed that in a book.
Here's a goddamn print-out fucking foldable folder book. Let's go.
Yeah, here's a book. I think he even had like
Yeah, it was like a
school's crest
binder,
on it,
and
too.
they were like, "Nah, fuck you."
I was like, no, that's not fair.
It was a little
so
fucked
unfair. I'll read the 3 lines that are there. Well, the 3 paragraph, the short ones. The film would go on to win 2 categories in the 5th Genie Award. Is that right? For director Bob Clark and Best Original Screenplay for the work of Alay Brown, Bob Clark, and Gene Shepard. By Christmas 1983, the film was no longer playing at most venues, but remained in about 100 theaters until January of 1984. Gross earnings were just over $19.2 million. In the years since, due to television airings, the home video release, A Christmas Story, has become widely popular and is now an annual Christmas special. The film was produced and released by MGM. The rights to the film were acquired by Turner Entertainment, and Ted Turner purchased of MGM pre-1986 film library. Subsequently, Time Warner purchased Turner Entertainment and currently holds all rights to the films as Warner
speaking
Media.
of MGM, I watched Mank the other day. It's really, really good.
Send that to me.
Send
then.
it to you.
I'll
It's on Netflix.
Look at it. Well,
it's the new Fincher film with Gary Oldman. It is really, really good.
Turner Broadcasting has maintained ownership of the broadcast rights since the mid-'90s, airing the film increasingly on TBS, TNT, and TCM. By 1995, the airing on those networks a combined 6 times on December 24th through December 26th. And in 1996, it aired 8 times over 3 days.
Due to the increasing popularity of the film in 1997, TNT began airing a 24-hour marathon dubbed 24 Hours of a Christmas Story, consisting of the film shown 12 consecutive times, beginning at 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve and ending 8 p.m. on Christmas Day. This was in addition to various other airings earlier in the month of December. In 2004, after TNT switched to a predominantly drama format, sister network TBS, under its comedy-based Very Funny moniker, took over the marathon. Clark stated that in 2002, an estimated 38.4 million people tuned into the marathon at one point or another, nearly 1/6 of the country. TBS reported 45.4 million viewers in 2005, and same amount, plus a little bit more in 2006. In 2007, however, new all-time rating records were set, with a high of 4.4 million on Christmas Eve. Viewership kept going up and up and up, and it ends up being shown 250 times on all the Turner family networks. This movie was just overplayed till it died, essentially.
Well, okay, so this movie is still overplayed. It will be played on Christmas Eve this year. And on Courtney's
PBS. Dad will probably play it a whole day on Christmas Eve as well.
I can stomach this movie like maybe 4 or 5 times in a row. I cannot stomach it more
than twice in a row.
and then I get like, cause I after like the 4th or 5th time, you can just start like just saying it word for word. I remember
some of the lines, and I haven't seen it in years.
I enjoy this movie. Like it holds a place.
To be fair, my mother talks about this movie a lot. She says you'll shoot your eye out all the time. She says have a fa ra 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 Christmas. We have not to people. She every once in a while we'll go get Chinese food on Christmas. You know, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna finish up the notes section, Zach, while you have your little fit. A theatrical sequel involving Ralphie and his family, called It Runs in the Family, was made in 1994. With the exceptions of Teddy Moore as Miss Shields and Gene Shepard as the narrator, it features an entirely different cast. It received a limited release before being retitled My Summer Story for home release and television release. Basically 10 years later, they did a sequel, and no one came back except for the teacher and Gene Shepard as the voiceover.
I'm surprised they couldn't get the original actor for Ralphie back.
Because the timeline of the movie took place the summer after he gets the PB gun. So 10 years later, Billingsley is going to be like probably close to 20, if not 25.
No, because the film came out in 84.
The film came out in 83. And they filmed it 83. Like a year or two before.
And he was about like...
So...
And he was about like 10.
He was probably like 10. He was between 10 and 12. So add 10 years to that, and he's anywhere between 20 and 23.
Just have him
walk around on his knees,
cut his legs off. Yeah.
Hey guys, it's me, Ralphie.
No, I'm sorry, Peter Billings.
Also,
I'm so sorry.
A Christmas Story 2 was another sequel which ignores the references and events made in My Summer Story and was released direct to video in 2012. It was directed by Brian Levant, and it was filmed in British Columbia, Canada.
Okay, I might look at the My Summer Story. I might look into that. I refuse to watch it.
You refuse to watch it into the 2012 one?
I refuse to watch that one. I've seen the trailers. I've seen people review it. Hell, when I was a fan of the Nostalgia Critic, I watched him review it. Like, God, that movie is terrible.
I believe it. I just, no.
Here are a list of sequels that we will not watch. A Christmas Story 2. Hell, there's a sequel to Big Fat Liar. Called Bigger, Fatter Liar. I watched it. Randomly one summer. I wanted to die.
Bigger, fatter waste of time.
Yes.
All right, Zachy boy, let's move on to the plot so we can get this shit going.
All right. The film is presented in a series of vignettes with narration provided by the adult Ralphie Parker. just as he reminisced on one particular Christmas when he was 9 years old. Ralphie only wanted one thing that Christmas: a Red Ryder cover action 200 shot Ranger model air rifle. I actually remember that whole entire thing when I was like little too, the entire BB gun thing. Ralphie's desire is rejected by his mother, his teacher, Miss Shields, and even a Santa Claus
kicks
at
him in the
Hickey's
face.
department store, all giving him the same warning:
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Christmas morning arrives, and Ralphie dives into his presents. He does receive some presents that he enjoys, but he is disappointed that he did not receive the one thing he wanted more than anything. It appears that all the presents have been opened when his father directs him to look at one last present that is hidden. Ralphie opens it and reveals the Red Ryder BB gun. Ralphie takes the gun outside and fires it at a target perched on a metal sign.
Very
Stupid idea, kid. In the backyard, however, the BB ricochets back and knocks his glasses off. While searching for them, thinking that he indeed shot his eye out, he steps on them, breaks them. He lies to his mother that an icicle broke his glasses. She believes him. Ralphie is in bed on Christmas night with his gun by his side. Not safe. God, 1940s, what a time to be alive. The adult Ralphie narrates that this was the best present.
So that's essentially the legit plot of A Christmas Story. A kid wants a gun, he gets the gun, he hurts himself. Lesson learned. But interspersed with the main story are several loosely related vignettes, including the Parkers and family and like other friends. And we have all the vignettes over here that fill up most of the plot.
I also didn't realize, I didn't mean to read
No,
the entire plot.
I was letting you do because there's only 3 small paragraphs. I will read the rest of it over here. So, the old man, Ralphie's father, wins a major. This is one of the vignettes. Wins a major award in a contest. A table lamp in the shape of a woman's leg wearing a fishnet stocking. The old man is overjoyed, but Mrs. Parker is not. The battle of the lamp develops, ending with Miss Parker accidentally destroying it, much to the old man's fury. Unable to fix the lamp, he defeatingly buries the remains in the backyard.
Fishnets. They still
still
hot
are
back
now.
then. Yes,
Another
they
vignette
are.
with the old man. Also, he starts fighting a never-ending battle with the malfunctioning furnace at the home. His frustrations cause him to swear quite often, including one profanely laden rant heard as gibberish that the adult Ralphie says it's still hanging in space over Lake Michigan.
That's actually,
a good line.
I like that line.
Another source of frustration for the old man is the dogs that belong to the Bumpus family, the hillbilly neighbors that live next door. The Bumpuses own at least 758 smelly hound dogs that harass the old man whenever he comes home from work. On Christmas Day, the dogs ruin the family's dinner by romping through their kitchen and eating their turkey, forcing the family to go to a Chinese restaurant for Christmas dinner. Those are all the old man vignettes. Ralphie and his friends Flick and Schwartz are tormented by the neighborhood bullies Scott Farkas and Grover Dale, who's a toady. Ralphie eventually snaps and beats up Farkas. Miss Parker catches him mid-fight, and Ralphie expects her to tell the old man, but both his parents brush it off. Flick accepts a triple dog... Oh, this is the Flick's tongue. Flick accepts a triple dog dare from Schwartz to stick his tongue to a flagpole outside. His tongue freezes to the pole, requiring assistance from the police and fire department to free him. Although the teacher, Miss Shields, to some extent, knows how it happened, nobody confesses or blames anybody. And the incident is dropped for further emotion.
Those are in reverse.
Oh, no, they're not told in proper order. They're just told that there's like, here's some vignettes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
After getting a Christmas tree while attempting to help fix a flat tire on the ride home, Ralphie utters a major profanity. Oh, fudge, but it's fuck. And when they get home, his mother washes his mouth out with some Lifebuoy soap. Ralphie, in an act of what he later describes as inexorable official justice for the flagpole incident, blames Schwartz for teaching him the word, when in fact he heard it repeatedly from his old man. Ralphie's mom informs Schwartz's mom over the phone, who loudly shrieks and punishes Schwartz immediately. You can hear Schwartz going, "What did I do? I don't know why you're hitting me."
So, fun little thing. So, in the only good thing that the musical version does, you actually get to see the other side of the phone
I like that.
when that happens. You of course don't get to see Schwartz get his ass kicked, but you do see the mom freak out. I like
due to
that,
budgetary reasons.
I always wonder what happened.
They weren't able to do it. They were just like, hey, we're not going to hire an extra actor. We'll just have one of the stagehands yell into a phone quickly.
And just start beating up a kid.
That night, Ralphie melodramatically imagines going blind from soap poisoning. This is my favorite vignette, where he's like, I thought I'd go blind at 21, but it was actually when I decided to eat soap. And he walks in with the cane and his glasses, and his family's like, oh no, he's blind. It's so stupid.
What happened? It was soap poisoning.
It's so stupid. That's one of the better ones, though. Another vignette with Ralphie. Ralphie, a fan of the radio program Little Orphan Annie, eagerly awaits the arrival of a decoder pin he has applied to receive. When it comes in the mail, he uses it to decode a secret message at the end of the day's broadcast, but is dismayed to find it is only an advertisement for Ovaltine, the show's sponsor. Yeah, Ovaltine. Be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
A crummy commercial? Son of a bitch.
Final two vignettes. Randy, Ralphie's often crying younger brother, refuses to eat a meal on his own for 3 years, with Miss Parker relying on trickery, asking him how piggies eat to get him to eat something. That was an annoying... Randy, the only good line Randy utters... The kid's not a bad actor. It's not his fault. The only line that Randy... the only scene that Randy's great in is when he's rolling around in the snow, because his jacket...
I can't
put my arms down!
I know, he goes, hey, kid... What? I can't get up.
They knock him over. And, oh yeah, here it is. Dressing up for school in the cold winter, Randy must wear so many layers that he can't put his arms down. That's another small vignette. And then among Ralphie's presents, there are some he dislikes, particularly an embarrassing pink bunny onesie from his overbearing Aunt Clara, which his mother finds adorable, but the old man disagrees and says he looks like a deranged Easter bunny.
So, I want to quick touch upon like the layers that Randy has to wear. He has to take that off at school. How does he get back into it?
Or he doesn't take it off at school and he just rolls with it.
Oh, and he's like just sweating.
He's living in sweat. He's a sweat monster.
Dying.
He dies of heat stroke every day.
He's just dying.
I love how Randy wears so many layers, but Ralphie legit wears a jacket and a hat.
I think it's because Randy's the baby.
The whole thing is like you're supposed to baby the baby and get him all spruced up, but Ralphie's just sitting out there with a hat and a jacket, and Randy's got 3 hats, 3 jackets, 2 scarves, rolling up. Yeah. It's great.
And he can't put his arms down
because he's stuck too much. It's like when you put on one too many shirts; it just doesn't work. So that was the plot of A Christmas Story. It sucks that the vignettes weren't told in proper order, but it is what it is when you copy and paste things from Wikipedia. I mean, what we don't do.
Also, a thing not mentioned from the pink bunny onesie is that his overbearing Aunt Clara still thinks he is a girl.
Which I think is funny. It doesn't make any sense at all, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it does.
I'm just like, how would you not know? You get the Christmas cards. You can see he's a boy. He looks like Zack. He's a little boy.
I hate
so
you.
Let's hop on to my mid-movie notes. We each only have a little bit because we've seen this movie before, but here's my quick little ones. The family eats meatloaf, red cabbage, and mashed potatoes for dinner every night except for when they go to the Chinese restaurant. Because they're about to have the turkey. Yeah, they're about to have the turkey, but they can't eat it, so they go to the Chinese restaurant. But if you pay attention to the other 2 or 3 days, all they eat is red cabbage, meatloaf, and mashed potatoes. You can even hear Ralphie go, ooh, red cabbage, my favorite. And then he looks directly at the camera. Yeah, it's something stupid that I noticed. I was like, wait, he's eating so many. Wait, what the fuck?
I don't blame him because also at the time when kids ate dinner, it was always that they always had a glass of milk.
Yeah, that was weird. He's drinking milk with mashed potatoes, red cabbage, and meatloaf. I'm like, who drinks milk with meatloaf, bro? That's so gross.
Yeah, well, that's just
it's
a
the milk makes your bones grow. You gotta drink a lot, you know.
But yeah, as a kid, who was a picky eater, and who kind of still is for the most part, I can't really if I eat something out of my norm, I have to wash it down. So when I was a kid, I had meatloaf with chocolate milk. That's not fun.
At least you had chocolate milk, though.
That's not. I know, but it's not fun, man.
I don't think it is now. All right, I got 2 more little tiny notes. Ralphie says that he wanted the Red Ryder BB gun 28 times. This wasn't me remembering this note. This was me finding it in one of the trivia things, not knowing where to put it in the notes, so adding it to my mid-movie notes. He says it 28 times that he wants the Red Ryder BB gun. That's crazy.
I thought you just had a pen and paper next to you.
1,
and
2,
marked
3,
it down
4. No,
I'm
not crazy. I saw that and I was like, I don't know where to put it, so I'll put it here. And my final mid-movie note, you'll shoot your eye out, kid. Santa kick. Santa just kicks him right in the dome.
Well, not even. He kind of just like he gives a love tap.
He kicks him in the dome. He just fucking axes this kid. He axe kicks this motherfucker.
I have little notes. I have the reoccurring thing that I've said. I've seen this movie more times than I've seen myself in a mirror. And be sure to drink your
Ovaltine. Move on to them reviews. So, over the years, the film's critical reception has grown considerably, and it is regarded by some as one of the best movies of 1983. Based on 57 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an overall approval rating from critics of an 89%, with an average score of 8.53 out of 10. The site's consensus reads, both warmly nostalgic and darkly humorous, A Christmas Story deserves its status as a holiday perennial. Whatever that word is. On Metacritic, the score has a 77 out of 100 based on 8 critics indicating generally favorable reviews. In his movie guide, Leonard Maltin awarded the film a rare 4-star rating, calling the film delightful and truly funny for kids and grown-ups alike with a wonderful period flavor. So, Zach, hit me up with that good review because you gave it a higher score.
Yeah, because I gave it a very
significantly
high
higher
review.
than me.
Good from James Benedict or Bernardino.
Oh, it's supposed to be Berard. I added the T by accident. It's Berardellini. Berardinelli.
Okay. Of course, you gave me the Italian last name, asshole. It's a reoccurring bit for you to give me Italian last names.
The Italian names on the reviews just for you.
Okay, yeah, James from Real Views. If you're
He's dead. He's dead. Folks.
If you're a fan of Christmas movies or films that use nostalgia as a drive, A Christmas Story cannot be missed. Then again, if you're in either category, you have
That's
probably
facts.
already
Everyone's
seen
this movie. Unlike Elf, which I've never seen. So, the bad review from Vincent Canby of the New York Times. They said, there are a number of small, unexpectedly funny moments in A Christmas Story, but you have to possess the stamina of a pearl diver to find them.
What the
There are funny moments in this, but you have to sit through like such a
mean.
boring plot to get there. And I get it. It's just so boring.
Not real. Oh, okay. But the pearl diver line's
a bit
harsh.
But it's just a metaphor to to opinionate his thoughts. It is what it is. So Zach, what is your review of A Christmas Story?
I gave it 9.5. You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
And I gave mine 6 Zacks in a pink bunny suit out of 10.
I hate you.
Hey man, when people see the poster, they'll know exactly what I mean. Not the poster. They
That's if they've seen my face.
Zach, put up a picture of your face right here.
They follow the Instagram.
Put up a picture of you in a bunny suit right here.
Fine. Fuck. I actually have a picture of me in the
I've
bunny.
seen it, and I've also
onesie.
seen you do it when we used to go to school together. Also, put up a picture of the poster right here.
Well, the poster's gonna be the
Zoom in on Peter
entire
Williams'
thing.
face right here. I'm just giving you editing to do.
We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again.
Yeah, man. Go.
Remember the last time?
Yeah, go.
My computer
You gotta go back
died.
to that From Under the Ring wrestling video where I'm like, what was it like? Chop, ambulance, body slam.
No. It was Ms. Face, Braun, something.
That was a good one, man. If you still have that, you gotta find it.
That video, my bad, guys. So I'm the editor of Box Office Losers. That video from Under the Ring Took me 3 hours to edit.
That's because I kept saying it really fast. But dude, it showed. Like, that was a good episode.
It took me 3 hours to edit all the bits that fucking
If you still
Hunter
have that
did.
episode up on the internet somewhere, definitely post a link to it in the description of this episode because I want to find it.
It's from Under the Ring is still on my channel, still thriving, still like 13 subscribers.
Hey man, you stopped.
Well,
Yeah, but you can still review
stopped.
wrestling movies. Hey man, something to do. Anyway, Zach, close us out.
Hold on. Thank you guys for listening. You can follow us on Instagram at Box Office Losers and on Twitter at Box Losers. We don't care about Twitter that much, so just follow us on Instagram.
Answer us if you message
That's
us.
where you'll. So Instagram is where you'll find a lot of the kind of like fan art for the movies, alternate posters, all that good jazz. You also get to see when the episode gets uploaded to Spotify and other channels. Also, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review, share with your friends. Definitely help us out. We do appreciate you guys. We've been checking. Well, I check our Anchor analytics, and we're doing good. We do appreciate some of our new listeners,
which is great, and we definitely thank
and
you
we
guys.
also and we also are very happy we finally got female listeners.
How's
Holy
it going,
shit!
guys? What episode did you come in on? Let us know. Was it night before? Because it probably
was. Yeah, it probably was the night before. But yeah, we do appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, so this is episode 2 of the Christmas
Next week
time.
we'll be covering Christmas Vacation. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Which is like I will do the intro and I also will give a nice kind of like a monologue on why this movie means so
Sounds
much
awesome.
to me.
And then we got a double feature
Alright, guys,
coming on the 24th and the 25th, similarly to what we did during October. It's not a sequel though. It's just like we wanted to cover a couple extra Christmas movies to pad out our library and also to give you guys more content. So, thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.
Oh, no, but also wait.
Bye-bye.
Where can they find you?
You can find me at Scruffy Moose Man on all the other social medias. You can find my podcast, Pound That Button, at Pound That Button on social media, and then also that comes out every Tuesday at 10 a.m. You can find my comic book podcast, Android's Amazing Podcast, every Wednesday at 10 a.m. This week we covered Christmas comic books, and it's a fun old time. And I got another podcast launching sometime soon, so be on the lookout for that.
God, you have
I also have a secret
podcast
podcast project that I'm not telling too many people about because I need to iron it out 100%. There are 2 episodes out, so if you find it, you can let me know.
Then you can also follow me at Dark Shadow Zack virtually anywhere. You can find me on social media. Also, I am a contributor for the Sports Hit List. I believe today I will be on their live segment. So, yeah.
Sounds good. All right, peace
That's
out,
it,
guys.
guys.
Now, bye-bye.
Goodbye.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.